Hello everyone and welcome to the latest and greatest episode of the Lowbot Podcast. I'm Tyler.
I'm Josh.
And we are back at the Bachelor Pad. We are back at the Trap House. We are back at the...
Crackdown, baby. Feels good. It's been a good week. You've had a bit of a shit week from what I've heard to start with.
Yeah, we recorded last week's pod on the Monday. So it's been... This is like the short amount of time between two recordings.
Yeah, shit, it has. I completely forgot we did a late at night with the Low Block boys.
The Monday pod.
Yeah, the Monday pod. Let's not do that again.
No, let's not
I
miss a week.
After I uploaded it, I noticed when I edit things, I watch the entire thing through to make sure there's no shit things that happen. I didn't notice until after I uploaded. If you go back and watch last week's episode, the way the camera's situated with the chairs, it's slightly more my way, I think. So your chair, I think, is closer to the edge of the screen.
Okay.
And I've got more space here, and it looks like shit.
You up like the main character?
It looks like shit.
Well, look, it was a Monday night. We were after work.
Yep.
The after work experience, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, there was what do you expect from me and Tyler?
It's a free podcast. Fuck you. Fuck you guys. Fuck you. I started my week was kind of rough, but it ended up pretty well. But
cool.
People from work have said they've listened to the pod. Because I talked about the pod.
Oh, you talk about the pod. Okay, yeah.
And then they said, listen to it. Makes me feel good that people listen to it. Then it makes me feel weird. Like, people are listening to me.
Yeah. All right. Tyler's friends and family, don't fuck you. Love you very much.
Oh, yeah. Friends, subtype fans, thank you very much. But everyone else who complains, fuck you.
We haven't had a single complaint yet. Except
waiting.
Adam
complained?
said one time we sounded awkward. Yep. He said, he messaged me, and Adam and I spoke about it. I was like, I don't get it.
Since like year 8 in high school.
He was like, no, it was one episode, specifically. One episode. And it was like, anything wrong with you guys this week? I was like, no, why? I was like, you guys sounded weird this week.
Do you know what
on the pod?
Was?
Probably 3 weeks ago. At this
it was
point.
like a recent one.
Yeah, recent one. Yeah.
I thought it was like maybe 1 or 2 where we were kind of nervous.
I watched it, obviously because I got edit everything, and it seemed fine. And I don't know. I think it was the episode where you were coughing a lot.
Oh, because my throat was.
So it might have
I was trying
the
not
pacing up
to speak
or something like that.
Fucked.
Maybe that's what it was. Adam, our biggest critic, we love you.
Thank you.
But that's the only criticism we've got. So that's Adam, you want to throw some hate our way? Go for it.
I remember when I was asking for hate mail.
Yep.
Still waiting, bitches.
Still waiting. Yeah. Adam's gonna write an angry letter or something.
Well, jokes on him. I can't read.
Yeah. That is very true. Mm-hmm. That's why I edit everything, because he can't.
He edits.
Yeah, you should see the Instagram post Tyler puts up. It's not English, but it ain't anything else either. It's all just gibberish.
Don't act like you've been doing the Instagram posts.
I ain't been doing anything. I know it's been Ellie.
It's been
Ellie. Yeah,
it's been Pearl.
Yeah, it's been Pearl. Oh hell yeah, dude.
Little beans.
Pearl's
my cat.
Yes, yep.
This is the weirdest intro I've ever done.
Is it? Oh, you know what I was about to say before we get into some basketball-related topics, as we usually do?
What's that?
I actually appreciate your intros. So, for those that don't know, Tyler does a little mantra thing, and he claps, and then he gets going like a proper businessman. He gets it going.
It's game time.
It is game time. And it was really, really nice today, so I want to show my gratitude. Thank you. I'll be off very shortly. And that's it from me.
It's the solo pod. Well, so for those who don't know, I do a clap, right? It's not a clap sync like we do prior to recording. It's a clap to let us know that's game time.
Yes.
That's the first siren. That's it, right?
Yep.
Game face on. And then I do the pod. Oh, I do the pod. I do the intro. And it's the same intro every week. And I can do it off the top of my dome. It's not a long intro, but it's the intro.
Yeah. No, your intros and your outro is very consistent.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
That's
the
enough.
outros, I don't feel like they're consistent, but if you do...
Well, I mean, they're consistent enough. Every now and then I like to throw in a curveball every now and then.
Well, was it 2 weeks ago where you said, I'm depressed?
Oh, for the intro.
That fucked up my intro.
That really did, yeah. But I got to do that. So I got to keep you on your toes sometimes,
I was out.
But that's enough praise for you.
Yeah, that's it. That's the yearly praise.
We got to start praising some other boys in our life that we hold near and dear to our heart. Mm-hmm. Chris Paul. Closer to your heart than mine. Yes. But
oh my God.
Yeah, he is definitely climbing up the ranks every year, it seems, as he gets older. What is he, 35, 36,
he's 36.
38, 39, 40. I don't know.
55.
Man could be 55, and I'm not surprised.
He actually crossed over Father Time.
You know what?
Mother Nature.
That might be the name of this episode.
He's the celestial emissary. He's beyond time at this point.
That is the biggest praise I think you've ever given to anyone ever.
He's the celestial emissary?
Yes,
Okay.
that's Chris Paul, apparently,
That's Chris
ladies
Paul.
and gentlemen.
So for those who don't know, Phoenix have clinched the series against Clippers. And they're moving on to their first NBA Finals since 1992.
I'll take your word for it.
Because that was Barkley's MVP year.
Okay.
They went against Jordan.
Yep.
And Chris Paul, after coming back from the COVID protocols, had 2 rough games. And then a 41
points.
bonanza. Man could not be stopped.
Insane. Because like you said, he started off rough when he came back from the COVID protocol. And I wasn't really sure if this was going to work for a second. Because Phoenix played great without Chris Paul. And that's not me saying, Chris Paul is a poor fit. It's obviously a great fit. They got the 2nd seed, and they've been phenomenal in every series so far. Team. Absolutely. But it looked a bit shaky. And I think a big reason why Phoenix won the first 2 is because it's Ty Lue trying to figure out this matchup.
Yeah.
And Ty Lue gave him a hell of a series, despite the fact it wasn't very close.
Yeah.
I think it was a really good series, considering Kawhi Leonard was out. Paul George really brought everything. Reggie Jackson brought everything.
George. That one game where I messaged you, I think it was on a Wednesday. Yeah, it was the Wednesday game. Maybe Tuesday. But I messaged you Paul fucking George.
Yeah, you were like, Paul fucking George. And you were like, he's a man unleashed.
Yeah.
You kept sending me Paul George references. It was really weird.
No, I don't have time for that. But we're going to get to Paul George this week. But after having being out for the first 3, having 2 rough games, then coming back.
Yeah.
Chris Paul is a monster.
He's absolutely insane. 41 points is crazy for a player of his age alone.
In the conference finals.
In the conference finals to really seal it and make the finals. I'm
a sealed tight defense in.
Yeah. I'm excited because obviously Chris Paul's first final appearance. Love him or hate him, it's going to be interesting to see how he goes in the finals. I don't see anything holding him back right now. He's done his COVID protocol. He looks healthy. I think he's fine. All the bounds on him are going to be gone.
Yeah.
He's going to do what he wants to do.
Have been released.
Gone, and I'm excited for that. Whenever we get a bona fide first ballot Hall of Famer for their first finals appearance, that's always going to be an exciting time. I'm hearing a lot of people these playoffs have been quite boring because some stars have been out. We're not used to these teams are small markets. I'm like, shut the fuck up. This is exciting.
This is Chris Paul in the fucking finals.
We're bigger fans of basketball than anything else. You're a bigger basketball fan before Denver fan. That's the same thing with me in LA, because despite our teams being knocked out, it's still so exciting.
It's so exciting.
And I'm here for it. And something which I don't think is getting recognized enough is the fact that Devin Booker was on his way out of Phoenix. He really was. He was very
frustrated.
Had no issue expressing that frustration. Whereas I'm going to be done with losing very soon.
Yeah.
Way before they got Chris Paul. And the fact that they've made it to the finals now.
In his first playoff appearance ever.
Irrespective of Chris Paul's accomplishments, this is just as big for Devin Booker because this is everything. The only thing Devin Booker wanted was to make the finals.
There's a term in American sports, he's a gamer. And I've really understood it. It's all he wants to do is win. All he wants to do is game. All he wants to do is da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
That's Devin Booker.
Yeah.
He just wants to win.
Just wants to win.
And he's finally proving it out. People
Yep.
made jokes about him because I remember years ago he made the quote of, I just want to win.
Yep.
I want to make the fucking playoffs. I want to get there. And he was putting up good numbers, but he wasn't killing it. But now in the playoffs, he's fucking killing it.
He's killing it. He's playing his role. He's not playing absurd like we've seen with Donovan and Trey and whatnot, but he's putting up solid numbers that you expect from your first scoring option. So nothing but respect for Devin Booker and what he's done. Despite some of the iffy things he's done throughout the postseason so far, he's a baller.
Yeah.
And
regardless of who he is as a person and his personality, his skill set.
And I can only imagine what Phoenix fans, the ride or die Phoenix fans, are feeling right now, where it was unsure if we were going to lose Booker or not, to having a super old Chris Paul and somehow being in the finals through it all.
You went from just having Devin Booker
Yep.
to, we get the number 1 pick.
To having all these chumps as point guards as well.
Yeah.
And then now, and can we please mention Ayton and how lovable
We will.
that
We're
man
going to
is?
get to Ayton
All right.
and what Ayton's done in this
All right.
playoffs. But yeah, like being a Phoenix fan over these past few years. 'Cause we used to joke about, the Phoenix head office is just a bunch of goats in a boardroom.
Yeah.
The literal animal, because they made these stupid fucking decisions. Remember in, I think it was like the draft like 2 years ago maybe, they traded down to get
They did trade down. Who was that?
to get some European guy. Who was it?
Oh, I've completely erased this from my memory.
But they made weird trades which
it-
made no sense in retrospective or at the time.
It wasn't Saric, was it?
It was Saric.
It was
Dario
Saric. No.
They traded down in the draft, which was a good draft, to get Dario Saric. And like I like Dario Saric. I think he's an all right
I don't know why.
9th man on a roster.
Woo.
Like, you know what I mean?
Jesus. All right,
Like,
yeah.
way to blow out the audio levels
Hey,
there.
look.
You saw those levels.
Look, yeah.
I think he's fine as a 9th man on a roster. But like you don't trade down in a draft to get Dario
to
Saric.
get the 9th man.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But now, like, look at them now. I said at the start of the year, they're my, towards the middle of the season, they're my biggest surprise. And look, they're in the NBA fucking finals.
Absolutely. If they're not your 1 or 2 biggest surprises this year, I just don't think you're watching basketball at this point.
Like, they were meant to be good. They were meant to, like, they looked like they were going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
And at the 8th seed, they didn't look like they were going to be this good. No one could have seen this coming.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't see the 2nd seed and then getting this far, obviously.
We'll talk about one of the reasons why they are this good. And it is their starting center,
yep.
DeAndre Ayton.
He's so good. He's so good, man.
So, in DeAndre Ayton's draft class, he was the number 1 draft,
Yep.
right? Draft pick. In his same class was Luka Doncic and Trae Young. And a lot of people said very early on, why the fuck is DeAndre Ayton the number 1 pick? And I said, he's a bad number 1 pick. You should go for... This was when Luka started exploding, Trae Young started exploding, and DeAndre Ayton still slowly climbing that mountain. People are saying, why would you go for... DeAndre Ayton's an awful first pick. And I said, no, he's not. Right? I love Luka. I've been on Luka since day one. I've come around to Trae. I haven't come on to Trae. But I've come around on Trae and I see the light, right? But I've always said that DeAndre Ayton is still a good number 1 pick.
Yep.
Right? He can still attain that absolute greatness. He'll just take a bit longer.
Yep.
And he has been one of the best players throughout this whole playoffs. He has been the most consistent.
So consistent.
He's stopped every big man he's gone against. And yes, he hasn't gone against the most talented big man in the league at every matchup, but he's still been incredible every fucking game.
He's the anti-Middleton.
The anti-Middleton.
Super consistent, whereas Middleton either shows up or he doesn't, right?
And DeAndre Ayton is so much better now than he was last year. And last year, he was so much better than he was the year before.
He's gotten better every single year.
Yeah.
And I love the progress I'm seeing.
At every point. Like, his defense, when he came in, was kind of rough, but he's so good now.
He's so good now. And he got a lot of shit for that. A big man, 6'11", really big frame, pretty agile for his size, and athletic, wasn't good defensively.
Yeah.
And that was really questionable. And it seems like rather than taking that to heart, like a lot of these, young guys do, especially at that position, he took it in stride.
Yeah.
And he got a lot better. And, I have nothing but praise for DeAndre Ayton. Obviously he's gotten better every year. He seems to be one of the most lovable guys in the entire league. The more I watch him and get to know him, I don't see him getting involved in any beef ever. He seems like the kind, and I'm not comparing him to Tim Duncan, but he has that same demeanor where it's like, I'm just here to play basketball.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to pick fights and whatnot. I'm here to enjoy
He's
life.
not a roughhouser. He's here to play ball and he's here to do it
And
fucking well.
he's doing it really well.
Really fucking
And like you said, he is the anchor for that team. He is the consistency. Because Chris Paul doesn't have good nights every night.
Yeah.
And Devin Booker can be off every now and then. Most of the times he's pretty consistent.
But sometimes he'll drop it. But
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton's always there.
But having a big guy, especially that anchors everything down low, it's the same thing as Rudy Gobert and why he's so crucial. He doesn't need to get 20 points a game. He can do 12 to 15 points a game, but he's doing so much more that doesn't show up. If you're watching basketball and you're watching Utah Jazz, you understand how important Rudy Gobert is. It's a very similar thing with DeAndre Ayton and what Phoenix have accomplished.
It's the eye test.
It absolutely is. He does all these intangible things, and it even on the stat sheet is really good.
Exactly.
Like it's not a Gobert situation. Like he's putting up 20 and 10 a lot of these nights, and that's really good for a player of his age and in these stressful situations in the playoffs. First time, really young. All these kids are really young besides Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jay Crowder needs to get some respect as well. You know, I think him and Chris Paul coming in at the same time have really got everyone together and rallied them together and like, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to accomplish, and empowering each and every one.
Exactly. He got clowned a lot for leaving Miami, by us as well. We said, why the fuck do you leave Miami to go to Phoenix?
Yep.
And now we see why.
Yeah.
He had faith.
It's got to, like, one of the coolest things, I think, to be in the league would be to truly understand what is the draw factor with Devin Booker. What was greater in that unknown situation than Miami Heat and being a contender? Like, you made the finals the year before. We're never going to know unless we're on that court day in, day out and hear everyone talking about certain teams and players. Because from a fan perspective, Devin Booker looks like a great player, decent dude, doesn't really want much drama, does great things off the court, which I really, really respect. But beyond that, and I'm like, he's never made the playoffs. Like you said, besides this year, this is his first playoff trip and he's made the finals. But besides that, he just looks like a good scorer, good facilitator, decent teammate. But Chris Paul saw something.
Yeah.
You know,
like other players have seen something we didn't. And that's another level of basketball IQ of seeing something we don't. And probably seeing in practice too. Because these guys work out together in the summer, right? They see something we don't.
Yep.
And a fly on the wall.
Yeah, because the craziest thing to me is what I just said, you know, being a fly on the wall in that situation. But then we have to remember that specifically Jay Crowder came from Miami.
Yeah.
Made the finals. And we always praise Jimmy's work ethic, Hero's work ethic, Dragic's work ethic, Pat Riley as the godfather there. Work ethic. And they just want to win the chip. And they had immense success last year. And I think it would be one thing to leave Memphis, a successful Memphis team, to go to Phoenix with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. That makes sense to me. But it'd just be, there's got to be something so crazy and unfathomable about being on that court with those guys. And just hearing Devin Booker and Chris Paul teaming up can persuade someone of Jay Crowder's caliber and caliber alike.
Of a role player caliber like Jay Crowder.
To say, this is for me.
Yeah.
I see greater potential in this despite the fact I've just made the finals and we've kept the team together and we're getting better.
Yeah.
Like, that's the craziest thing to me. It's not the Chris Paul thing. It's not the Devin Booker thing. Like, that is crazy in its own right. But the fact that that's something I will never truly get to experience and understand unless I'm there. There's just these things that players understand and coaches understand, which I can only look on from the outside.
Yeah.
And that's why Phoenix are just so successful, because the players understood this. This was the opportunity for them to make a huge push.
To make something special.
Yeah. And they were, despite being the 2 seed, they're the underdogs, man. They were never the favorites.
Yeah.
You know, and it's cool to see.
Yeah.
I'm here. If Chris Paul, you know, makes the finals, which he did, I would like to see him get a chip over anyone else, really, besides Trey, obviously.
We'll get to them in a bit.
I'm here for Chris Paul.
Look, I'm with you. Like, Phoenix are my hope to win it. I want Phoenix to win it.
Yeah.
I've always been a bit of a Phoenix fan because I'm a big Barkley fan.
Yep.
And I love Chris Paul. So I'd love to see them win it. But there's going to be, so far, still currently 2 teams that are going to want to beat them in the finals.
Yep.
We'll talk about the East.
Yep.
We just had game 6 yesterday, or was it game 5?
It was 2-2. They just broke the tie, so that was game 5.
Game 5. So this is a game where Trey was out, Giannis is out.
Yep.
2 big stars from each side are out. Yep. And of course...
That's fine. That's fine.
That
all right.
threw me. I didn't expect that. And of course, when the 2 stars are out, who's going to step up? Brook Lopez.
I was about to say Middleton, but you're right. It is Brook Lopez.
Guess who the fuck stepped up? It was Brook Lopezian.
33 points.
33 points, like 3 blocks, 2 steals.
And you know what was crazy? Is I looked at this and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's like the all-time leading franchise scorer for Brooklyn. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Brook Lopez
He
was
an
that
absolute
dude.
baller
Yeah.
on the Nets.
I
But he took
completely
a
forgot.
much smaller role when he came to Milwaukee.
Yeah. I mean, even before that, he was on LA for a period of time.
What about
Yeah.
that? You had him.
Yeah. He was, the moment he left Brooklyn, he became a spot up
3-point shooter.
3-point shooter from the corner. And it was really, really weird to see because that's what everyone, and myself included, that's what we think about when we think Brook Lopez. It's not this absolute animal under the rim. He was an absolute monster. And we saw that tonight. Like, obviously, different brand of basketball now, but 33 points. I keep forgetting this man can score. He has it in him.
We forget his versatility.
Yeah.
Because he said, I can hit the 3 actually really well.
Yep.
And a lot of teams need that. Well, Milwaukee want that, so let me do that.
Yeah.
No, he's a monster when he wants to be.
Oh, he's crazy. And it's absolutely what
I think he realized no one on that Atlanta squad could swap him.
4 players on this Milwaukee squad over 20 points. That's so rare. You don't even see that with like a
Okay, I don't know
Brooklyn
who
thing.
it was, but I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess 3 of them. The 4th one, I have no idea. So it's going to be Brook Lopez, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday.
Yep. Who do you think the 4th is?
Fuck was the last one? Was it Beepo?
I'm pretty sure it's Beepo.
For those who don't know, Beepo, one of my most hated players, Bobby Portis.
I don't know why you hate him.
I just
Nothing
don't
but
like
love for
I just
Beepo.
don't like Beepo.
Yeah, Bobby Portis, 22 points.
Oh.
So I go through it. Bobby Portis, 22 points, 8 rebounds. Brook Lopez, 33 points, 7 rebounds. Chris Middleton, 26 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. Drew Holiday, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 13 assists. Absolutely insane game. The one time you're stuck... We were just talking about this last week, how important Giannis is because he is the most consistent player that in today's game, in my opinion. He's definitely not the most versatile, but he's always going to get you 28 to 38 points, always going to get you 10 to 15 rebounds.
He's going to give you 20 to 30 points, 10 to 15 rebounds every single night.
Every single night. And that's taken away as soon as we spoke about that. And it's who the hell is going to step up. And it turns out everyone in that starting lineup stepped up.
Yeah.
In an immense level. It wasn't like 15 points from Brook Lopez and 20 points from Drew Holiday. Like, these guys went 30 points, 28 points, 22 points from Beepo. Absolutely insane. And
It's wild.
Atlanta just couldn't keep up. Yeah. Atlanta on the other end.
Yeah, Atlanta really struggled with their main facilitator, that main
so
guy.
Gross.
Can you you've got the stats. Can you actually look up how many assists Middleton has for me? Because last week on Monday, where we talked about how good of a facilitator Middleton had.
8.
He had 8 assists.
It's really good. really, really good.
Middleton is so good passing out of the pick and roll.
Yep.
It doesn't happen enough. He's so fucking good at it.
Yep.
And 8 assists for your starting 3. Think about that.
That's really good. It's really, really good. Drew with 13 as well. Like, those two were just
and Drew's
killing
not
it.
a main facilitator. He's not a pass first guard.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely insane game. And people were saying this was the boring game to watch. Trey's out, Giannis is out, pivotal game 5. Like, no, I'm here for this.
Little did they know, Beepo says, I'm here.
I wanted to see, because it sucks when you see, like, if this was Giannis was still in and Trey out, well, that's going to be a stomping.
Yeah.
But the fact that both their go-to guys are out, how is Gallinari going to play? How is Lou Will going to play? How's John Collins going to play against the other opposing 3 guys? And it just turns out Milwaukee just did it so much better. These players were more experienced. They knew how to perform in the playoffs. And I'll go through...
That Atlanta squad is just built around Trey and Trey's
It really
play
is.
style.
And they do have guys which can get buckets, but that style of basketball doesn't work without Trey.
Yeah.
It doesn't
You
work.
can't do it for 40 minutes
So,
without Trey.
Kevin Herter, unfortunately, 8 points.
Yeah.
Can't perform without Trey, and I understand why. John Collins, really poor performance in my opinion, 19 points.
Yeah.
Didn't show up when he needed to. And I think that's fine. John Collins he's never going to be a first option.
No.
He's always going to be a second to third. And so I'm not expecting... I would have liked to see him step up like Beepo did, but 19 points doesn't cut it.
No. He shouldn't step up like Beepo did. Beepo is a bench player.
No, you're right. You're right.
Right? That's like saying I'm really disappointed that... what was his name? The point guard. The backup on Atlanta, then jumped around to 50 different teams, now back to Atlanta.
Chris Dunn?
Not Chris... Yeah, Well, fuck it. We use Chris Dunn. That's not what I'm thinking. But that's like saying is I'm real sad Chris Dunn didn't show up like Beepo.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's not. You can't compare John Collins and Beepo. John Collins should have 19 every night.
Yep. No, at least. Yeah.
At least,
no,
yeah.
absolutely. I was expecting John Collins to get like 25 points tonight. Didn't
Like
happen.
if Chris Dunn stepped up and said, "Don't worry, guys, I got this. 22 points." I'm like, great, perfect.
Gobsmacked.
Gobsmacked.
Jesus.
Man's never put up double digits in his life. I hate Chris Dunn. I fucking hate Chris
I
Dunn.
don't think anyone likes Chris Dunn. I'm sorry, Chris Dunn.
I don't like Chris Dunn or Beepo. Maybe it's because they were part of that Bulls squad, which I just hated.
That Bulls squad was fun from a drama perspective.
Cristiano Felicio.
Oh, shit. I forgot about him. Yeah.
Sorry, the rest
Clint
of Atlanta.
Capella, 6 points.
He needs to
Can't
catch lobs.
perform without a point guard.
He needs to
He
catch
is
lobs.
one of the worst bigs without a point guard.
Yeah.
It's really sad. Lou Will, 17 points. Would have expected more. Like he really has, in my opinion, fallen from grace. I expected him and was hoping he would be up there with the Jordan Clarkson. Obviously, Jordan Clarkson's much better. But Lou Will was the kind of guy like Jamal Crawford, which would come in and get you 20 points when needed in pivotal games like this, when your go-to guy's usually out and you will be one of the focal points offensively. Doesn't happen.
I'm not too disappointed. I think that's fine because him being the only real scoring threat on the floor now. How many minutes did he play?
No, there are multiple scoring threats.
How many? Well, shot creators. Sorry.
Lou Will played 35 minutes.
Lou Will should never play 35 minutes.
No, but he has no choice. That's what I mean.
But like, I'm still not too shocked or disappointed he put up 17.
Okay, all right. We're going to talk about that again. Gallinari, 19 points. Disappointed.
Disappointing. How many minutes did he play?
Actually, no, 23. That's fine.
Okay.
Bogdanovic was their biggest step up, 28 points.
He had a good game. He
like
busted his ass.
Classic Sacramento. I say classic from like 2 years ago. This
Classic.
is what
Just
they
came off his
this is what
rookie
they got
deal.
him
Classic.
for. Yeah.
Vintage.
So you're telling me John Collins, Bogdanovic, Gallinari, that's not going to take pressure off Lou Will? And we just spoke about Gallinari being one of the biggest offensive threats because of his size.
John Collins, Bogdanovic,
and Gallinari. You don't think that takes pressure off Lou Will offensively?
not in a 40-minute game.
So you're happy with Lou Will got 17 points?
Not in 30-something minutes, but at the same time, he shouldn't be playing 30 minutes, even with Trey out.
No, really?
He's not, like, I feel like the longer Lou Will's on the court, his
He dips into that minus a bit.
little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you put him in for 10 minutes, he'll give you the best 10 minutes. But if you put him for 20, he's still only going to give you 10 minutes of efficiency.
That makes sense. Right?
Actually. If you keep him out there for 30, he's still got 10 minutes of efficiency.
Yeah. That reminds me of those arguments where it's like you have someone that is guaranteed 10 points in 10 minutes, but you play him any more than 10, he's not getting any points.
Exactly
how much is he
about Lou
worth?
Will.
That's a good analogy for Lou Will, I think.
Right?
Yeah.
He's going to give you 15 to 20 a night, whether you play him 10 minutes or 30. You shouldn't play him 30.
Yep. I think part of me is stuck on what we saw in LA and Houston with Lou Will.
Yeah.
Like Lou Will could quite
That
regularly
Houston was
drop
65
40
to 6
points.
years ago.
I know. It doesn't feel like it, right?
Right? That was when Pat Bev was on Houston.
Yeah. It feels that Houston squad still feels so close. Yeah. But 6 years ago, man, they're going to be 7 next year. It's crazy.
That's wild.
I just feel I feel disappointed. Besides Bogdanovic, disappointed by every other player on this Atlanta squad.
Except,
It's just when you see the exact opposite on behalf of Milwaukee, I just don't know how to feel about it. And it's just one game. You know, the fact that Atlanta have won 2 games out of this.
They weren't supposed to be here.
No, like 2 games away from the finals, and they can very well do it.
Yeah.
I don't see Milwaukee as good closers.
No,
historically, they're not. And Atlanta, they really, really want this. So I don't know, man.
I still see Milwaukee taking it.
One game, like it's so difficult to have to.
Atlanta could definitely do it.
Yeah.
2 games.
But it's like, if you're in that situation and now it's like, oh, we can't let them win one more game. Like that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And I don't see Milwaukee losing 2 in a row.
No.
I see them maybe dropping 1 more, but I don't see them losing 2 in a row.
No.
Especially without Trey right now. Do you know what his status is?
I'm not sure. I know it's heavily bruised. I assume he'll be, up until game time, he'll be plausible or possible,
Yeah.
and we'll find out. Right again.
Plausible.
It's plausible he could come back. Giannis
Was that from
hyperextend-
when he tweaked his ankle on the ref?
Stepped on the ref. Yeah, so he has a deep bruise and a sprain in his foot.
That sucks.
Yeah, and
that
Giannis
really
had a
sucks.
similar thing. He hyperextended his knee. No real issues, just
If I'm that ref,
yeah.
I'm in hiding.
He feels awful.
Atlanta's going to be hunting this man if they lose, right?
I know,
if Trey
but-
doesn't come back.
I didn't think they were going to win anyway, but yeah, I
Like-
get you.
People weren't happy with George Bush when he did 9/11. Atlanta, this is more. This is crazy to them.
Right, George Bush did not do 9/11.
You don't know that. There is more evidence to suggest George Bush did 9/11 than he did not do 9/11. I'm just throwing it out there. Some conspiracies are fun to think about. That's all
You
I'm
think
saying.
George Bush did Trey Young?
Holy shit, that could be a new
He's
conspiracy.
claiming it right here, right now. George Bush.
Where's George
stepped-
Bush from? Let me have a look. If he's
Ooh,
from
ooh.
Milwaukee,
I'm going to get... He sounds slightly southern,
I think he's Southern too.
but not too southern.
George Bush Jr., right?
He's from like
American politician, businessman.
Maryland.
He is from Connecticut.
Connecticut boy. So he's not. He's East Coast.
God, he's born in the 40s.
Yeah, dude's old.
He's an old head.
He's old.
Gee, that's probably what he did set that up. He's like, I'm sick of these new kids jacking threes. Giannis is my guy.
Even though Giannis jacks threes.
He stopped though.
Because he can't play.
Bush had him in his ear. It is like, Giannis, my brother, stop.
George Bush controls the NBA. And
Yeah.
I guarantee you, we're not the first people to say that.
You know, you're probably right? Some other assholes probably joked about this.
No, they probably weren't joking. When George
Yeah.
Bush was in office, I guarantee you some fucking losers are like, George Bush controls the NBA. He controls all sports.
How do you feel about, and I know what your answer is going to be, but I got to bring this up anyway because it's always funny, is how do you feel about those fans that are like, they're convinced every championship is rigged?
Fuck off. Stupid.
How fucking stupid do you have to be?
Stupid.
Absolute nutcase. I just don't get it. But what else has you excited, frustrated, whatnot throughout the league?
Not too much. To me, this series with Trey and Giannis out, this series is done to me. Like Milwaukee are taking it.
Yeah, I don't. If both of these guys are out, like if Trey doesn't come back at all, the series is done.
Yeah.
You know, I don't expect another 28-point outburst by Bogdanovic. So that about wraps up the playoffs right now. There's no game today, which I'm
No
quite
game
disappointed
today.
about. There's a
So
game tomorrow, but we're not going to be here for
next
that.
pod,
Yep.
the NBA Finals would have started. It's most likely going to be Milwaukee versus Phoenix.
Most likely, yep.
Let's have a prediction.
All
This is
right.
Before finals started, we're still at the end of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Is this under the assumption that Giannis is back?
Yes.
Milwaukee.
And I want you to give me the end result of the finals, like numbers wise.
Numbers wise,
As in like 5-2,
yeah.
4-0,
Okay.
4-1.
All right. Milwaukee.
Okay,
I think
you
we'll win
reckon
the
Milwaukee
chip.
are taking it?
I think Milwaukee are too talented to be trumped by Phoenix.
Okay.
Despite all the praise we just gave Phoenix, I think they're too new. Whereas I genuinely agree with the sentiment that sometimes you got to take your lumps. Very rarely does a team...
Milwaukee have been through a lot of lumps.
Yeah, a lot. And I think it's about time they do it. Is assuming Giannis is healthy and comes back in time for the finals.
This is under assumption of a full roster.
I think Milwaukee, and I think it'll be a 6 or 7 game series.
6 or 7 game series. So what is your end result?
What do you mean my end result?
Like I'm saying Phoenix 4-2.
Giannis and the Bucks.
Giannis
and the Bucks, because I have to specify.
Okay.
It has to be with
Assuming is
Giannis.
back.
Giannis and the Bucks in 6.
Okay, so you're saying 4-2.
Yep, 4-2.
And I'm saying
6.
Phoenix 4-2.
Okay.
Let's shake on it. Because like,
Yeah. All right, let's
no
do it.
bet, but like...
I'm not betting with you again. For those that don't know, this man
I'm
took 2 to
not-
3 months
I'm
to
gonna-
pay me on a bet.
I'm going to leave.
2 to 3 months.
I'm just going to walk away.
I don't get that. I never will. Sometimes
I gave you the money.
2 to 3 months after the bet, the next season had
there
already
was
started.
complications.
There was no complications. The man had the money. The man had the money.
There was complications.
If I made a bet with you, you know I make money. If I made a bet with you and I lost, you wouldn't be like, no, maybe that man doesn't have money. You'd be an idiot.
Every weekend, you're like, I got no money. So fuck you. Broke motherfucker.
What have I done that?
Every fucking weekend.
When?
Yeah, I got no money.
Yeah, because I'm buying stuff.
Because you got no money.
Yeah, but I wouldn't buy stuff if I owed someone money. You idiot.
Yeah, there was
Why would I
complications.
do that? No, there wasn't. You're just an idiot.
There's complications. If I'm an idiot, then you do a podcast with an idiot.
You're also doing a podcast with another idiot.
Two idiots
Look,
do a podcast.
Anyone out there, never make a bet with this man. He cannot be trusted. Look, we shook on that, but that was specifically not a bet. I don't know why we shook on it.
That were just our predictions.
Okay. I feel confident in mine and you feel confident in yours. That's all that is.
So that wraps up the NBA for this week. It's going to be a slightly shorter pod. I do want to mention one thing that happened at work for me this week. I messaged you about.
Wow! I completely forgot
that I was geeked.
Yeah.
So yesterday, 2 days ago, when did I text you? 2 days ago. I work at Subtype, which is like a streetwear, high-end fashion clothing store in the city in Adelaide. And had someone come in while I was rearranging the shoe wall. I was like, "Hey man, what up?" And he saw my Denver hat on, so I was wearing one of my Denver hats. He's like, "Oh, that's sick! Like, my cousin plays for the Denver Nuggets," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" And he's like, "Yeah, my cousin, Bol." And this dude is probably 6'4", 6'5", sort of looks like him, and I'm like, "Okay." Shows me a photo of him and Bol together, and I'm like,
That's crazy.
It's fucking insane.
It's insane.
So for those who don't know, we have a large Sudanese and large African community in Adelaide. So it's not too
not too out there.
Not too outrageous that like one of his cousins or maybe second cousins lives in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Not too weird. And he came into the store. It was his first time in the store. He barely looked at anything because I pretty much ended up talking to him about basketball for like 20 minutes. We were talking about Bol and how talented he is, and like he has a skill set that he could play 1 to 5, but the height sort of limits him more towards 3 to 5.
Yeah.
We're talking about how we hope he gets playing time and how like Millsap's sort of in his spot right now. Millsap will probably retire in the next couple of years, and we talk about Milwaukee because he's a Milwaukee fan, and
this is the closest we've had to personal insight to a player, which is the coolest thing ever.
It's fucking incredible.
Really is insane.
It's fucking incredible.
And then what did you say? What he say about Middleton and the Bucks?
Yeah, so him being a Milwaukee fan. I was asking about what his thoughts on the team is. He kept saying how Bud's really inconsistent as a coach. And then we got talking about Middleton. He said how Middleton is the backbone of the team. And if he does well, they win. If he doesn't do well, they might lose. But he's so inconsistent. And in my head, I'm like, he should join the pod. Because that's exactly what we've been
He's
saying.
an embodiment of our podcast.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's just like, that's so incredible. That my favorite team, a family member of somebody who plays in that team, lives in Adelaide, came into the store, was geeked about the store, and wanted to talk about basketball with me for 20 minutes.
It's insane. Quickly, did he have an American accent, or has he always been in Australia?
Australian accent. I didn't ask where he lived in OB, just had an Australian accent.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, that's so neat. Like that, you texted me, and I just sent you question marks.
Yeah.
I'm like, because you were like, I met Bol's cousin.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And
what
then
do you
I had
mean?
to get back to work. I had to lock my phone.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? That was so weird.
It's fucking wild.
Next time, tell him to listen to the pod.
100%.
Get your boys to listen to the pod. We also support Chris Middleton, but understand his complications.
Yeah.
So
I'll get him to listen to like last week's episode where we had like a 20-minute Middleton discussion.
Yes, yeah. God, that's one of the coolest things ever.
I'm still geeked about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's the closest thing I'll ever have probably to meeting a Denver Nugget player.
Yeah. Because it's super neat insight. Because we just spoke about at the start of the pod about like Chris Paul, how he wanted to play with Devin Booker and Jay Crowder.
NBA players.
It's like this guy knows basketball. He follows basketball. Obviously, his cousin is a professional basketball player, and they share similar insights.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, he kind of needs more playing time. I understand his limited positions. Mm-hmm. He understands the Milwaukee frustrations. It's just so cool to see. And I feel validated.
Yeah, validated that someone else who's knowledgeable on the subject has the exact same opinions we
I feel
do.
really validated.
Until like he has a completely different like boy list than we do. And he hates Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, probably. Look, some people don't like Jordan Clarkson, and I understand.
His boys are like Chris Dunn and Bebo.
Look, I respect Bepo.
I mean, I don't want to slander. I don't know who his boys actually are, but
I don't know. But it'd be cool to find out.
It'd be cool to find out. I'd have to explain to him the concept of a boy. boy list.
He'd probably go, oh, no, we got those
He
two.
just
We got
stands on
those
a
two.
boy list,
Yeah.
just under a different
I had
name.
Ingram, but he's no longer a boy.
Oh, that'd be fucking incredible. We'd get him another chair.
Yes.
And he could sit right there.
Fuck, that'd be so good.
Oh, fuck, that's incredible.
God, all right. What a way to wrap up.
We'll
this
wrap
week's
up this
episode,
week.
man.
Slightly short episode. We're at like 40 minutes, but like we wrapped up everything.
Yeah.
And next week we'll be talking about the finals.
It's going to get to that point in time where, because like I said, there's not a game today. I'm used to a game happening every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a game today. When the finals happen, there's going to be a bigger space between the games. And then it's going to be done. We're going to head into the off season. You will do an episode on the draft.
Yes.
Which I'm super excited about.
For those who liked my draft ones before, this will be my first draft one with video.
Yeah.
I'll be doing my draft block for this year. The draft lottery's been done. Adam's really keen to hear about it.
Should we dress up for the draft episode?
Ooh, no, we should dress up for the blockies.
The block. Yes. Blockies
So,
2021.
The blockies at 2021 are coming
Yes.
back. We'll dress up.
Yep.
What do we dress up like? How do we dress up?
Suit and tie, baby.
Papa, I don't even.
Do you not own one?
I don't think so. I'll have to.
How old are
you? 27.
You don't own a suit, or a suit like a suit jacket and a tie.
I own slacks. I own a button up. I just need a suit.
That'll do. That'll do. Just wear a button up. Jesus Christ.
Oh, look, I'll get a suit
You own,
jacket.
like,
I'll get
50 pairs of
I'll get a
shoes.
blazer. I've got like 23. I'll get a blazer. I've got a button up. I've got slacks.
All right, because
figure it
we're not cheaping out on the
We're
blockies.
not cheaping out on the blockies. So we'll give a quick rundown on our plan for the off season. We haven't gone over it too much, but obviously once the off season's in, we'll do less episodes. We won't do a weekly episode. We might do bi-weekly or every 3 weeks or something because we don't want to get burnt out.
So what we'll be doing, and it may not transition over well to some of the viewers here because it's a different interest, but we are doing a TCG podcast in the off season to keep it fresh.
Yep.
When we don't have anything to talk about through the off season, it gets exhausting. So we like taking that break.
Yep.
But we have other interests. Obviously, most people do, and we enjoy TCG tabletop stuff.
Yep.
So we'll be doing hopefully a podcast centered around that on a different channel.
Yep. And we'll announce that when that's up.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. But you will see less videos
Less
coming out
basketball
in the off
content.
season, obviously, because there's less basketball.
A lot more structured. So I'll do my draft block episode. We'll do the blockies every like 2 or 3 weeks. We'll probably do like a off-season trade. Like here's what's happened so far. But yeah, it'll be less each week in the off season, but more structured.
Yep.
And then so when the season does start again, we'll be feeling fresh. We'll have a new setup slightly. Changes will happen because we like to.
Yeah.
We're hoping to make changes to the set each season of the pod.
I guarantee you next season will look very, very different.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a lot more money into it just because I enjoy what we do. You know, I
All
have,
this was a last minute to start the video pod.
and I'm very glad. And I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm very glad that you pushed us into this. We said it at the very start of this season, and it's always going to hold true, where we started at your desk, hunch over your desk, sharing one Blue Yeti USB microphone. It sounded like shit, but boy, we did it.
We did it, and we had a game on in the background as well. It was like Zion's debut. It was like episode 3 or something.
It was, yeah. And then that really was really disconjointed because it was A, we've never done a podcast before, and B, because we had the live game on, we'd like stop halfway through a sentence. I'm like, oh, Zion did a thing, you know? Not
And
ideal.
I thought that would be cool at the time. It didn't translate well out of my brain.
Yeah. And I thought it'd be a neat idea as well, but then looking back at it, I'm like, trial and error,
Yeah, and maybe if we had the video going, like the viewers could watch along with us.
Yeah.
But that's different entirely.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched, it's not going to be on YouTube, but go back, follow us on Anchor or
Spotify,
any other
Apple
thing.
Pod, Google Pod.
Go back to the Blockies 2020. That'll give you a good idea on what to expect. It's super fun. And if you do watch it, feel free to send a list through of who you think you have on your list.
Yeah, your Blocky awards, your runner-ups, your winners.
Because we don't get to often talk about throughout the year because there's so much going on about what our picks are for everything.
It's hard to recap the year because each week we're just trying to get to everything.
but
We only really have like 45 minutes to an hour. We're already at 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
I'm super excited for it. So there'll be the draft, there'll be the Blockies, and then we'll transition to some TCG stuff, hopefully, but experiment with stuff. But yeah, the season will come to a close in a few weeks. It should be, and I'm excited for the next one, man.
change is good.
Change is good.
So we'll wrap it up here. If you've made it through this far through the episode, thank you very, very much. It's the favorite part of our week every week. We love doing it. If you could tell other people about it, that'd be absolutely incredible. We are on Facebook and Instagram at Lowbar Podcast. We are on all the streaming services. For the audio one, we are on Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, Breaker, SoundCloud, Groove Shark. We're not actually on those two, but I love saying it. We're on YouTube. It's where most of our viewers... Are
we really not?
We're not on Groove Shark or on SoundCloud.
Fuck, I thought we were.
No, I was taking the piss. We're on Last FM, though, I'm pretty sure.
No, we're not.
Are we not?
No, wait.
No.
I was thinking non-stop Pop FM.
That's
Sorry.
GTA.
That's GTA.
We're not on Audible either, which I kind of want to get us on Audible.
How are we going to get on Audible?
I'll figure it out.
You can't get podcasts on Audible.
Audible podcast, yeah.
Do we?
I'm pretty sure.
Fuck, put us on Audible, man.
Dude, I got us on fucking Apple, and that took me ages.
Oh, that sounded like a nut. You were texting me, and I'm like, fucking Apple, man. I swear to God. I'm done with it.
Anyway, we are also on YouTube, where we do a video podcast if you're only listening to the audio one, which is a lot of our viewers are video only now, which is great. I love doing the video pod. I'm glad we transitioned. So yes, thank you very much, guys. I love you all. See you next week. We'll talk about the finals. Bye.
Appreciate you.